Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Nendoroid 002 Sonic the Hedgehog. However, this is the EZ version, as you can see right there at the bottom of the packaging. I know it's blurry, but it's there. It's the EZ version, which means, I think, easy money for Good Smile Company, because this is the same as the original release, minus a fair amount of accessories, and it did retail for the original same price. However, I got this as a gift from a viewer. Thanks a bunch, Alfonso. These guys are on sale apparently at GameStop for like, what, 15 bucks, I think, which is still, I mean, that's a really good price for this, and it's a really solid item for what it is. However, the fact that Good Smile sold this pared down version for the same price as the original one, assuming that is what happened, I think it is. That's kind of a shady move on their part. The original one comes with a bunch of extra and somewhat vital accessories, but this one is okay for what it is. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about, let's say it averages about 4 inches, somewhere between the ear and the very top of the hair. It's about 4 inches. So however you want to measure that, I guess we could technically go lower. It doesn't really matter. It's about 4 inches, so that's close enough. And then we're looking at, let's say, about 9.5 centimeters. So he's definitely very small. That is not unexpected. That's what the Nendoroid line is all about. They're kind of chibi style figures. And the reason I passed on this originally is because it is the shorter, fatter version of Sonic, but it's actually, I mean, build-wise, but it's actually a newer, more lanky version of Sonic design-wise, so I didn't really want that. But I decided, what the heck, I should probably get one, and then it turns out that they go on sale and that a viewer sent it to me, so, you know, it just kind of worked out. It's going to be a nice spot filler in the Smash Brothers collection until we get a true Sonic Figma or SH Figuarts, so it'll definitely do. And as far as the paint goes, it's definitely mostly pretty clean. The eyes look great. The eyes look really, really good. The arms are actually separate pieces from the body, of course, so you don't have to worry about the paint there. The torso is painted very nicely. The ears are good. The face is good. The boots are definitely almost perfect. They're really, really well done. They're glossy too, so that's kind of a nice touch. Very, very nice finish on this figure. It looks very good, and it has that kind of a matte finish also, which is nice. Now, like I said, he's missing a lot of accessories, which definitely destroys the value, practical value of this figure. He can't be in a running pose, which is Sonic, so it's kind of a big deal. But he does have some, so let's go ahead and talk about those. We have the 2 fist hands that come on him in the package. We have 1 open hand for the left side, and then 1 pointing finger hand for the left side. That's it for interchangeable parts. No running pose, no real posed arms, nothing like that. We do get a Chaos Emerald, which is very nicely done. It's a very nice translucent green plastic. It has a peg hole in it so that it can be held up on this little display stand that it comes with. And we do also get a ring. It's not vacuum chrome though. It's just kind of a somewhat shiny yellow, but it still looks pretty cool, and that does have a hole in it for that display stand also. And then lastly, we have the standard Nendoroid display stand for the figure itself, which has 3 little hinges and a little peg and multiple places to peg that in. So very, very basic version of this figure, and it's just good enough to have in your collection. You'll notice his face comes off, and that's because he originally had alternate faces so that you could swap out the eyes. And I think even he had a different mouth design too. I'm not positive. So yeah, he definitely had like other accessories too, like the little finish line thingies and a capsule, whatever those things are called, I can't remember. And then he had I believe he had different arms, but he definitely had a different leg, at least one. So this guy's mostly just going to be standing there in your collection, which is kind of a bummer. But he still does look really nice, and it is going to be a nice spot filler, so that's okay. Now, as far as the articulation goes, we have our standard Figma ball hinge right here. It's just a straight peg going into the head, a straight peg going into the neck, and then we have the hinge in the middle. So you can rotate it around and get him to lean a little bit, but it doesn't really, you can see there's not a whole lot of extra room in there. So it's going to move a little bit, and you could rotate it around so his head leans, but you know, it's not gonna be the most dynamic of poses. The arms connecting to the body, not that. There we go, just the arm. It's just a straight peg, so it just rotates around. And this side, it's pretty good. This side, it wants to pop itself out. It only goes in about halfway, which is not a big deal, but it's a little bit of a bummer. For the hands, we do have a little ball hinge inside the wrist. Each hand has its own. It's almost impossible to use, though, because there's not that much room for it to move around. Like, you get a little bit, but it's not really going to accomplish too much. So, again, it's not going to really help the posability. You can kind of get a bent elbow look out of it, just a little bit, though. So, not the most. For the hips, it's kind of just like a fixed hinge. So, there's a peg that goes into the torso, and then the hinge. And then, of course, you can rotate around on that. But that's it. There's no thigh swivel or anything like that. So it can be a little tricky to get him into a pose that you want. and that's going to make him look good. And then lastly, for the feet, oh come on, for the feet, it's just a ball peg. It's just a ball peg going into the socket, which is fine, but it's a little bit more limiting. So you really can't get him into a running pose with this. It's going to be just more of a kind of a neutral hero stance, which is fine, and I'm happy to have it in my collection for sure. But well, here's the thing: the original one, if you want to track it down, it's running like $80 to $100 on a regular basis. So for 15 to, I think you can probably snag these for 30. They might even still be in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. I'm not sure. So if they're not on sale at GameStop still for 15, I think they might be down to 30 now, which is probably acceptable. But it is a very basic figure, and it is very limited. So it's really just going to be kind of, if you really need a Sonic figure, this is a decent one to throw in there. But I could definitely understand why people wouldn't be interested in this with the limited accessories and posability. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures and movies and TV shows and video games and all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.